I'm thingy 3. I say it first because it matters not as a boast, but as proof. 73 years carry weight. They carry mistakes, victories, missed opportunities, and moments that change everything without notice. By this age, you stop pretending life is endless. You see endings more clearly because they're closer than they once felt. Age grants a kind of authority that titles, degrees, or accolades never can. I've lived decades where I chased success, approval, and security, thinking that accumulating achievements would make life meaningful. I was wrong. The only authority that matters comes from living fully, paying attention, and witnessing consequences firsthand. When I say I'm 73, I also want you to pause and reflect. Most of you reading this still feel invincible. I did too. Once, but age reveals the truth. Time is finite and it won't wait. Authority is earned not by what you claim to know, but by what you have endured and learned. By 73, you see patterns invisible to the young. You feel urgency the inexperienced cannot, and you understand that living consciously is the only real path. It took me 52 years to understand a simple truth. Wisdom, ISNT, measured by what you know, it's measured by what you experience. For decades, I believed knowledge, career, and planning would make life safe, meaningful, and fulfilling. I thought success could buy time. Then my heart failed. In an instant, I realized that time is the currency of life, not money or achievements. Every day I thought I had was borrowed, and most of it had passed while I was busy ticking boxes. It didn't matter. 52 years slipped by before I truly saw how fragile it all is. The cost of wasted time cannot be reclaimed. Memories cannot be bought. Relationships cannot be replaced. This realization shook me deeper than any fear of death. I wanted to warn anyone who would listen. Don't let the years pass unnoticed. Don't confuse motion with purpose. Time is relentless, indifferent, and fleeting. The life you are living now is the only life you are guaranteed. Recognize its value before it's too late. What I learned in those 52 years is hard to describe. It isn't a formula or a mantra. It's not something you can read in a book or earn through certificates. It's one truth that changes everything once you finally see it. For decades, I thought I understood life. I chased promotions, savings, status. I followed rules I didn't question. Then, in one moment of clarity lying in a hospital bed, I realized how blind I had been. The things I chased, success, approval, security, were distractions. They were not life. This is what most people never learn until it's too late. Presence, connection, and conscious living are the only things that endure. Everything else fades. Titles, money, accolade. Life cannot be postponed. You cannot store meaningful days for later. When you finally understand this, everything you thought mattered will look different. And you'll wish someone had told you sooner. This isn't just my story, it's a warning. You, reading this, are living in the same trap I did. You assume there is time. You believe there will be another day to call your parents, take that trip, or say the words you've been holding back. But there isn't always another day. Someone you love may not be here next year. Your own life may not stretch as far as you hope. I speak from experience. The only person who can change your life is you right now. When you read this, I want you to feel the weight of responsibility. Your days are finite. Your opportunities are limited. You can choose to keep waiting or you can start living fully today. This story is not a lecture. It is a hand extended saying, pay attention, act now, don't waste what you are given. At 52, my heart gave out in the middle of a meeting. One moment I was discussing projections, the next the room tilted, voices blurred, and I was gone, suspended between consciousness and nothing. When I awoke in a hospital bed, tubes in my arms, I realized how fragile life is. That moment shattered my assumptions. I had believed I controlled my life, that I had time to fix mistakes, to love more, to change. Suddenly, all of that seemed illusory. The universe had reminded me, mortality is not distant, it is inevitable. It's terrifying to face the fact that you could leave the world tomorrow, leaving unspoken words, unvisited places, and neglected relationships behind. But it's also clarifying. In that hospital room, I realized what truly mattered and what I had wasted decades ignoring. Before that day, I was moving through life without noticing it. I followed schedules, achieved milestones, and ticked boxers, but I wasn't present. I had confused activity with living, busyness with meaning. Autopilot is insidious. It lulls you into thinking you're making progress when, in fact, life is slipping past unnoticed. I had climbed the ladder, checked off all the expected accomplishments, and still felt empty. The realization hit me like a wave. I hadn't truly lived. Recognizing autopilot is painful. You see all the moments that pass while you were distracted, and you realize they will never return. But the awareness also gives you a choice. Once you see it, you can start to live intentionally or continue sleepwalking. I chose to wake up. We all tell ourselves the same lie. I have time. I'll call tomorrow. I'll take that trip next year. I'll apologize when I'm ready. I'll chase my dream when I have more money. Time is not endless. Waiting is not safe. The lie of later is deadly. Those moments you assume are infinite are already slipping through your fingers. By the time you realize it, it's too late. Most regrets don't come from mistakes, they come from inaction. From the things we never tried, never said, and never pursued. The myth of unlimited time is the most dangerous one we inherit. I spent 30 years climbing a ladder. Each promotion, each accolade felt necessary. Then, when I finally reached the top, I saw the wall it leaned against was the wrong one. All that effort had gone into the wrong pursuit. The security, recognition, and success I chased never made me feel alive. I realized too late that the ladder's placement, society's definition of achievement, had nothing to do with my own fulfillment. Many people live their lives climbing walls they never question, only to find their achievements hollow. Success is meaningless without alignment to what truly matters. The tragedy is not failing, it's realizing that even if you win, it might not be your victory at all. A friend of mine worked 70-hour weeks for decades. He built a successful business, provided for his family, and accumulated wealth. He said he would slow down next year. 3 years later, he had a stroke. At his funeral, his son spoke. "My father was successful, but I barely knew him." That sentence pierced me. Achievements vanish, but relationships and presence endure. Watching someone else pay the price of delayed living made me confront my own life. I realized that no career milestone, no bank account, no recognition could compensate for lost time with the people I loved. This is the external proof. The consequences of ignoring presence are visible, and they are permanent. I lie awake at night thinking about what I didn't do, the trips I postponed, the words I didn't say, the relationships I let fade. Regrets are heavy. They don't come from mistakes in business, investments, or career. They come from absence, from ignoring opportunities to connect, love, and experience life fully. If you take anything from my story, it's this. Your regrets will not be about what you did wrong. They will be about what you never tried, what you postponed, thinking there would always be another day. There isn't always another day. Once you see how precious life is, you realize you are not defined by titles, success, or possessions. You are defined by the life you live. I stopped seeing myself as someone building a future. I became someone spending a life. This shift seeing identity through presence rather than achievement is transformative. It is not advice, it is truth. Who you are is determined by how you use the days you have. Aligning your actions with this identity is what brings fulfillment. Everything else is noise. Time is not a concept, it is a presence. Quiet, relentless, impartial. It does not warn you. It does not pause. I felt it as a character in my life. Sometimes gentle, sometimes cruel. Watching moments slip, I realized that time is neither friend nor enemy, it simply moves. The question is whether we honor it or ignore it. Understanding time as a living, breathing presence changed how I approach every day. Every sunrise became a gift. Every conversation mattered more. Every choice carried weight. Everyone wakes up eventually. Some at 30, some at 73. Some, tragically, too late. I want you to hear this. This moment, the one you are in, now is your wake-up call. Not tomorrow. Not next year. Today. Awareness will come. The only question is when. You can choose to live consciously now, or wait and realize too late that life was passing all along. After my heart attack, I began to live intentionally. I traveled. I spoke honestly. I forgave. I loved without hesitation. Life became richer, not because it was easier, but because I was awake. The redemption window exists for everyone, but it is shrinking every day. The opportunity to reclaim lost time diminishes the longer you wait. Hope is present, but it comes with responsibility. Use it wisely. Act deliberately. Do not squander this chance. I'm 73. Every day is borrowed, and every day is sacred. You have a choice. Continue chasing illusions, postponing love and joy, or begin truly living. No one else can make that choice for you. One day, you will look back on this moment. The question is whether you will see it as the beginning of a fully lived life or as another day you let slip away. Don't waste yours.